As Waves Audio's Black Friday sale is just around the corner, it's the perfect time to upgrade from those stock plugins and enhance your mixing workflow with some incredible digital gear. So in this video, I'll be sharing my updated top 5 Waves plugins that I use every day that help me achieve professional quality mixes effortlessly. With so many plugins to choose from, it can be challenging to decide which ones are the best fit for your needs. And the fear of making the wrong purchase, missing out on the best deals, just adds to the pressure. And as these sales progress, the anticipation builds and the clock is ticking, pushing you to make decisions before time runs out, which can intensify wrong choices. And this leads you to needing guidance and advice to navigate through the vast selection and find the perfect plugins that will enhance your audio production instead of just sitting in a folder collecting digital dust. So as you navigate through the Waves Black Friday sale, you might find yourself overwhelmed by the extensive selection of plugins. It can be challenging to determine which ones are truly essential for enhancing your audio production. That's where I come in, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing my personal top 5 favorite Waves plugins, and I'll explain how I utilize them in my mixing workflow. So whether you're looking to upgrade from stock plugins or simply seeking to enhance your mixing capabilities, check out this video as I go through my Waves plugins that have significantly improved the quality of my mixes. And make sure you watch to the end of the video because I may have let a secret slip. The first plugin on that list is one that I've actually had for quite a while now, and I've just recently gone back to it because I just happen to be really wanting something kind of vintage, kind of transformy style compressor on my overall drum sound. And I just thought of the Waves V-Comp, and I'm so glad that I did because I finally got a little bit more educated on it, did a little bit more deep dive, and there's some really cool features with this thing. It's pretty unique. It's actually modeled after the vintage 2254 master bus limiter, and it's got some really cool vintage dynamic controls. It's got a recommended input at around -22 to -17 dBFS, and that's where I've got my input set, and it sounds fantastic on my drum bus. Take a listen. And something really cool about this compressor is it's got a built-in de-esser, and when it's fattening up that snare, I can click that on just so we can round off a little bit of those kind of flyaway peaky transients. What I really like about this compressor is that you can really kind of drive it a little bit, and it's not going to distort in any way, in any sort of negative way. Just love how it beeps everything up. It really makes it full, rich, warm, and I mean, that's exactly what I want out of a drum sound. Next up, you guessed it, the RVox. This is never going to leave my top 5 Waves plugins. There's just nothing else out there like it. At least I can't find anything else like it. It's so unique. It just does what it's supposed to do, right?
Never to last. I can't hold on. Everybody seems to know your name, and I'm basking in the light of your small town fame.
And I don't even really know what it does. I know that it's technically supposed to be for vocals. I've seen a lot of people put it on a lot of different things, bass, but I stick with the vocals. It's so cool. It's got a gate if you need it. I use a little bit of it sometimes, but I really just like how it pushes the vocal through a mix. It makes it present. But the most unique thing about this compressor is that it doesn't separate it from the rest of the mix. It does add gain. It does add some pretty heavy compression on there, but there's just something that pushes the vocal through the mix without making it sound separated from everything else, and that is just pure magic when it comes to mixing, in my opinion.
Wherever you go, I'm down for the ride. Built to be young, never to last. can't hold on. Everybody seems to know your name, and I'm basking in the light of small town fame.
Number 3 on our top 5 Waves plugin list is the BB Tubes. This was the shining star for me last year during Black Friday sale. I picked it up immediately because I knew that it was just a missing tool in my plug-in bag. This thing is incredible. I have been using it on electric guitars here lately. I've been combining that with a 1176 FET style compressor. And it really just does something amazing to it. So this is kind of how I've been working with that on electric guitars. You can, do a little bit of combination with the highs and the lows with the Beauty and the Beast. Got a couple of different types here, type A, type B. For some reason, I usually stick with type A, and then if you want to drive it a little bit harder, you can, and then you can pull down on the output here. I just find that it really warms up electric guitars, kind of pushes it a little bit out in certain ways when it needs to be, and just in combination with the 1176 that I've got here, just think that it does something really cool. So check this out. You can really hear how this guitar just sounds like a lot better. I don't know if it was the best recorded or played guitar, but this combination is something that I've been doing to all of the electric guitars pretty much since this track, and I've just kind of fallen in love with the combination, especially what the BB Tubes is doing. So take a listen to how this is enhancing those guitars. Coming in at number 4 is the Magma Spring Reverb. This is the Magma Springs. There's something going on with the Magma line because I'm just really loving everything that's coming out in that series. Now, I do have a full review of this plugin. I'll leave that up there on the top corner there for you to click on, and also in the description box. And I talk about how it's just been so hard to find a really good spring reverb. A UAD makes a great one, don't get me wrong, it really does. But I mean, it's $100, and then you've got this that does even more than that plugin. And so during this sale, you'll probably get this even at a lower discounted price. I would be sure to pick that up because it is so hard to find just even a decent sounding spring reverb. cool thing about this plugin, besides the fact that you have like 7 different sounds and then 3 different variations of those, short, medium, and long, you've also got a couple of more different tweaking elements here. You've got some pre-delay, feedback, you can drive it, and then you can mix that in parallel style if you want. What this thing does and what I use it for is putting it on those guitars and spreading it out. I'm not talking about widening. I'm not talking about making something sound wider. I'm talking about spreading those elements out that we get from an electric guitar. You know, when you strum electric guitar and you're like hearing a really cool riff, a really cool melody, it's spreading it out to our stereo image, to our ears, and that fills space. And when we fill space, we're connecting those elements to the rest of the mix. They're working together a whole lot better, a whole lot, what I say just sounds more familiar to us, what we're used to hearing in a professional sounding mix. This plugin does just that. So check it out. I'll have it in bypass, bring it in so you can see exactly what I'm talking about when I say spreading it out and connecting it. So cool. I can't recommend this plugin enough. And rounding out our top 5 Waves plugins this year is an old classic, an old friend. This is a plugin that I picked up when I first started mixing because I got the Abbey Road bundle. This is the Red 3751. So you've got 2 different consoles in one of these plugins. I just went back to it on putting it on my drums. I felt like I was just overdoing my drums. I felt like I was over EQing them, and I just thought I had to put something on there, and I thought I had to boost here and cut here, and you know, all those things that we fall victim to. And I just wanted to come back and simplify. You know, I've got the V comp on the drum bus, so what can I do to complement that? Well, this sounds amazing. I mean, hello, it's emulated from the console that recorded the Beatles, right? So it can't sound bad. So with the simplicity of this, we've got 2 different consoles to choose from. You get a little bit of different tone out of that. It was emulated off of 2 different channels of that console. So you've got channel 1 and channel 2. Subtle differences, but they're there. You've got gain, and then you've got the cool pop or classic EQ parameters. It's so important to listen to your tracks and have an end goal of what you want it to sound like, and then go look to the plugins. For me, I don't want a lot of choices. And so for a plugin that barely has any, but I know sounds great, just like this one, is perfect for me, and especially on drums. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 Waves plugins this year. However, this top 5 will be changing very soon. There just might be a new plugin that's popping up on this list that'll be a game changer for vocals. Oops. I said too much. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any more slips. Happy mixing and happy Black Friday shopping.